Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn two rules for nomenclature. Nomenclature means we have to learn the rules that how to name the organic compounds. Now, there are few rules. Some basic rules are there in class 10. So today I'll be discussing rule number 1 and I'll be introducing rule number 2 also. So the rule number 1 is that first of all, we have to do selection of carbon chain. It means you can see this is one chain of carbon. So, and this is a compound and we can see a chain of carbons. So the rule number 1 says that when we have to first thing when we see the organic compound and we see its structural formula, we have to select the longest chain. Now here in this case, it's not a problem because here in this case there are only five carbons which are in a straight line. That is, they all come in one main chain. So it's just like now the question is that how do you say that it's a main chain or a branch chain? So you can just understand that like the way we swim, we are supposed to swim only in one track or in one. We are not supposed to change our the course of our swimming. So that is if you are swimming in only one direction straight, that is your parent chain. So we go like this. So this is our longest chain. Now if you see this example, now if you flow like water, you go like this. This is one option possible, and the second option is you can flow like this also. So if you go like this and you stop here, because you're not allowed to come back, it's only one way. You're only allowed to travel one way. So if you go like this, then these many carbons, they are not included in your main chain. They're out of your chain because you can't take a reverse course. You have to flow in only one direction. So if you go like this, you are only including 1, 2, 3 and 4 carbons in your main chain. But if somebody decided to take this course, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the person who selected that path could touch only 4 carbons. But the person who selected this path, moving like this, touch 8 carbons. So the rule number 1 says that the person who touched 8 carbon, that chain must be selected because he is including maximum or he is touching maximum carbons. That is, the parent chain is the longest. So this is the rule number 1, that is the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms. Continuous chain of carbon atom means it's not that you go once like this and then you come back, because then your chain will break. It's just like you are allowed to take only one way direction. You can't take a return journey because then that will not be continuous. Yeah, so this is the longest continuous chain of carbon atoms should be selected. So whenever you see an organic compound, the first thing that you have to do, you have to visualize that how can I touch maximum carbon in a continuous manner without taking a reverse journey. So that should be the first thing you have to analyze. So this is your rule number 1. Now the second thing is that what happens to the carbon which you are not touching, because it may happen that when you are following rule number 1, some of the carbons may not come in your main chain. For example here, now let me write it again. Now when we were traveling like this, in this manner, we touch 8 carbons. But as a result of following this route, what happened? This carbon, this one, did not come in a main chain. So it is not a part of our counting. Why? Because if we would have tried to touch that carbon, then we would have not touched these carbons because we can't make a return journey. So the carbon number, this This carbon is not in our main chain. So what is it? Are we not going to include it? We are going to include it, but this will not be a part of our parent chain. This will be called as a substituent. It will be called as a substituent. So this carbon which has not come in our parent chain is our substituent. Now what is the rule number 2? Rule number 2 is that if any carbon does not come in our main chain, we consider it as a substituent. And now when we are numbering the chain, we have to see that the substituent carbon gets minimum number. So what does it mean? It means if I start counting from here, 1, 2, 3, I did not touch, so I am not putting a number on that. 4, 5, 6, 4, 5, this is 6, then this is 7, and this is 8. So total carbon I am touching is 8. But this carbon did not come in my main chain, so I graded as substituent. Now when I am doing the numbering like this, so this carbon which did not come in my chain is attached to carbon number 3. So what is the location of the substituent? Location of the substituent is room number 3. It is in room number 3. That is carbon number 3. Now if you will do labeling in a reverse manner, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, then it will get number 6. Now if you start numbering, because see, you can start numbering from left to right or right to left, that is your decision. Now when you are, now what should be exactly done? You should count from left to right or right to left, that you have to make a call. And what is that call? That substituent should get minimum number. So if you are numbering like this, you are giving it number 3. And if you are going reverse from this left to right, then what is happening? It is getting number 6. So rule number 2 says that the substituent should be given lowest possible number. So those who will say that the substituent is at number 6, that will be incorrect according to nomenclature. So if I ask you that in this chain, what is the number assigned to the substituent, it should be number 3 and not number 6. So this is rule number 2. So first rule of nomenclature, select the longest possible chain. As far as possible, try to touch all the carbons. Imagine yourself as you are flowing with the carbon. You are a stream of current. You are flowing and touching all the carbons, but you cannot come back. Once you have visited the carbon, you can't come back to the same carbon again, and that is, you can't take a U-turn. Clear? That is what is meant by continuous. Secondly, the carbons which you do not touch during your journey, they are called as substituent, or they are considered as side chain. And now when we are numbering the chain, we have to see that the substituent or the side chain should get minimum possible number. I gave you an example. I tried numbering from left to right and right to left. Once I gave it number 3 and once I gave it number 6. So the correct number should be number 3. That is our rule number 2. So thank you. We'll be continuing more in the next video with the other rules.